EVOTvtime. What is permissible on air.
Media organizations or social media platforms should be accountable for the role for being platforms for incitement.
I believe that when it comes to broadcast television, like Fox News, these are subject to federal law, federal regulation in terms of what's allowed on air and what isn't. And when you look at what Tucker Carlson and some of these other folks on Fox do, it is very, very clearly incitement of violence. Very clearly incitement of violence. And that is the line that I think we have to be willing to contend with.
ABC made the announcement Kimmel would indeed be taken off the air indefinitely. And this is just the latest chapter in Donald Trump's ongoing campaign to crack down on free speech, dominate the media, and essentially render the First Amendment meaningless.
Oh my goodness, what is up, friends? Happy Friday. My name is Evo, and I'll be your guide for the next few minutes and on every video on this channel, highlighting current events, including interviews, podcasts, the news, media at large, and the ever-evolving human culture that we live in, and sometimes random things I want you to know. For example, I had a hard time sleeping the other night. I don't know why. It is true. And what do? I turn on the History Channel, because that's the obvious thing to do, I would think. And what's on there? Ancient alien civilizations or something like that. Come to find out, I'll skip right to the end, that there are 50 to 100 or so cities and townships, like 10 or so of them, like really big cities with streets and shit, sunk in the Mediterranean, like down in the Mediterranean. You can see the screen there. I was like, what the hell? And then I was reminded of another stat that we've only explored like literally 90% of the ocean's floor. No, sorry, 10%, which means 90% is just like unknown, like the biodiversity and everything that's down there. We have no idea. So I was like, dang. And of course, then I fall asleep. So anyway, how's that for random? Now, we got some stuff to get into here. So let's break it down. All right, so the cold open, guys. I just want to remind everyone that, yeah, the internet is out there. So these Democrats that think that they didn't say one thing when the wind was blowing a certain way, and then it's a completely other thing when it's blowing this way. It's all out there. Like Maze Moore is a perfect follow on X. He's like a hero. I can pull stuff from him all the time to show you how ridiculous it is. And there's a perfect example. How in the world do they not think the internet is out there? Because it is. Can't hide it all. Try to hide a lot of it, but they can't hide it all. So anyway, that's what that was about. But I want to talk about Jimmy Kimmel for a little bit, because Jimmy got canned. I made fun of him a little bit, and some animal, by the way, Aquaman's codpiece, like on another platform of mine, like popped up. Of course, some kind of ghost account says something totally awful. Knock, knock, who's there? Ain't Charlie Kirk. Like, there's a difference between making fun of things, even being crude, but that's like sick. And that's the difference. Like, the mentality of these people is sick. Like, I mean sick, like you're sick. You need to see someone, because you don't say things like that unless you're sick. And I actually heard that codpiece, like those kind of suffixes, like anything like fish related as a motif, like alludes to some trans stuff, like basically like dudes who look like, who pass off easily as women or something like that. And I think the shooter's girlfriend had some accounts like that, so not surprising. But anyway, Jimmy, here's what I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I want you guys to know this, that Jimmy said some really insensitive stuff, and I want to show you a clip where he was super sensitive when it was personal to him. I need you to see this. I'm just going to comment on it briefly. Check it out.
That he's supposed to do. And our daughter, well, here's a picture of my wife and me and Billy and our daughter Jane, and you can see and equipment coming, and it's a terrifying thing. You know, my wife is back in the recovery room. She has no idea what's going on, and I'm standing in the middle of a lot of very worried-looking people, kind of like right now.
Yeah, Jimmy, scary, isn't it, when someone that you love, even a little baby, is compromised, even in danger, right? I've been in the NICU, spent 2 weeks there with my first daughter. It's not a good feeling. You feel helpless. So when it's personal for you, my man, it's sniffle, sniffle. I spent like 10 minutes on it. It felt like an hour. I was watching, like, oh my God, he's going to take over the whole show, like sniffle, sniffle about how personal it is to him. So my question to you, Jimmy, is how do you think Charlie's parents are feeling right now after all the stuff they've seen, watching their kids slaughtered in front of the daughter-in-law and the children? Is that sniffle, sniffle time? Or is it a perfect time to just dismiss it and then just blame the red hats? which is exactly what you did. When people do that, to me, it means they're not grounded. They're not grounded in reality. They have no perspective. And the problem with his punk ass and his $100 million budget and his $16 million salary, surrounded by only the same people that think the same things, it's really broken. And that's what's so troubling about Charlie, is that he was doing it with his hand out, trying to, like, you know, bring people in to, like, well, talk about things. And what Jimmy did was totally insensitive and inappropriate. And it's not about the First Amendment rights, guys. It's not cancel culture. It's consequence culture. You say dumb shit, guess what? Your boss, in this case, there's a lot of money involved, and you're cascading your message to lots of people. Well, there's consequences for that. And you suck. And until you apologize, I think you suck. Never liked you anyway. And you're gross. And there's proof of it. So I'll take it just one step further. Then we're going to move on. So please don't go anywhere. But here's his sentiments on Tucker Carlson after he parted ways with Fox.
Fox News has severed bow ties with Tucker Carlson. After all these years, they are parting ways, which means he was fired. I mean, that's really what parting ways means. Tucker couldn't be reached for comment. He's already on a plane to Moscow to meet with his manager. But what a shock. I mean, what an absolutely delightful shock this is. Now Tucker can spend more time at home tanning his testicles and touching himself to that sexy green M&M. Sadly, he's probably not done poisoning old people's brains. The question now is, where will he do it next? Will he go to OAN? Will he go to Newsmax? Will he crawl back up Satan's fiery beehole from whence he came? We don't know. One of the most despicable Mother Tuckers ever to appear on American television.
What a Mother Tucker. And him sitting there with his $100 million budget, just laughs it off like, ha, 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 I have 50 staff to make sure my eyebrows are waxed so perfectly, which they are. I'll give him credit. Only so that he can say that Donald Trump is Hitler and we're all Nazis. Good for you, bro. You suck. And I got something for you right here. Check this shit out.
You're fired. Get the hell out. Get the hell out of here. You're out of here. Get out of here.
That makes me happy. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, moving on into the little bits I have for you, so please don't go anywhere. This guy, Jeffree Star, an absolute stud. I guess he's one of the most famous, successful gay personalities on the internet, and otherwise, I happened to catch this clip. I'm like, I love this dude. Here's why.
This new world where these people want to go into the women's bathroom with your guys' children, and we're going to think that this is okay. That's the root. Imagine all the mothers in the chat right now. You're at Disneyland. Imagine you are a mother with children and you're at Disneyland and this thing comes in the women's restroom? Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? But I'm a woman. Look, I'm wearing a dress. Huh? All my parents in the chat, do you want this person in the women's restroom? And society is trying to make that acceptable. In what world was I born in? Do you feel heavy that silences? I'm sick to my stomach. That is a grown man with a mustache telling Charlie that he wants to be called a she.
So you see what I mean? Grounded in reality, comfortable in his own skin, doing him, but not trying to bend reality. He's like, wait a minute. Some of you who like me have children. That's not okay. You can't just identify to be whatever you want, no matter who you are. For example, I tried it for like three months. I was like, you know what, who I'm going to be? I never got to play football growing up. That's been like a sore spot for me. Like, who cares about my life, right? But to me, it was justice. I'm going to identify as Saquon Barkley. Look at that. I love him. I played basketball instead. But I was identifying, and I'm yet to receive a full NFL paycheck. I looked it up. It's a lot to this point. So maybe this transitioning thing is like open-ended. That's the other question I have. If you're transitioning, like the shooter's girlfriend, a biological man, was transitioning, then how long do you get to transition for? What's the result? Are you going to cut off all your whoop-de-woo? Or are you just going to keep taking pills forever? But you can just be transitioning forever. Maybe that's good for me with the Saquon thing, because maybe someday that, you know, the paycheck will come in. You see what I'm saying? Jeffree Star is like calling a spade a spade. He's like, what the hell is going on here? Okay, that leads me to my next point. We got Scott Jennings, and I stole this little video clip bumper from Dave Rubin, who I got to meet with and hang out a little bit with this summer. He has an awesome new tequila company. He lives in Miami, which is not too far from me, and it was a fantastic time. I'll save that for another video. But anyway, this little bumper is from Dave. Stolen, fair, and square. Scott Jennings, I love you. Check it out.
I think he also, I don't believe he was motivated politically. I think this was motivated emotionally.
Guys, the evidence here is overwhelming. He said, Charlie Kirk, I can't stand this hate anymore. I'm going to take him out. The testimony from him and the statements of his family, he had become more left-wing. He etched the statements that are made by the left about Republicans and conservatives and Charlie Kirk fascists on the bullet casings.
He made a joke about it in his last text.
Well, it doesn't sound like a joke to me because someone's dead and about to be buried.
Well,
so it doesn't sound like a joke to me. So I'm just telling you, there is an effort. There was an effort all weekend long on the left to try to make this guy sound like he was a conservative. That failed. That was passed around all over the weekend. That has now failed. The evidence has now come out. He was motivated by hate. He was motivated by left-wing radicalism. He got mixed up with some trans ideology in his life. We'll learn more about that, I'm sure, when more evidence and testimony comes out. We are looking around the edges of this for something other than what's staring us in the face. Left-wing radicalism got this kid. He went up to a roof and he murdered our friend, and that's what happened.
So yeah, Montel Williams is there romanticizing everything when Scott, like he always does on CNN, trying to talk sense into those people. No, this isn't a mystery. It's all right there. So why are we dancing around the obvious? Just to romanticize it? For what? This man was senselessly killed in front of lots of people. And we are looking for every reason to blame it on something other than the obvious. This kid was a radicalized leftist coming from a conservative family, radicalized by his trans girlfriend, which is a fact. And then he shot someone. So I just don't understand why the media always tries to play these other cards that make no sense. That's why I said in the last video, like, I feel like I'm having out-of-body experience because I don't understand what the hell they're talking about. And obviously neither do a lot of people. So here's the same thing. ABC, this jerk off who I'm told apologized profusely about it via Twitter or X or whatever. But it's such a disgrace. Check this out.
An alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon, where it was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate who is transitioning calling him my love, and I want to protect you, my love. So it was this duality of someone who the attorney said not only jeopardized the life of Charlie Kirk and the crowd, but was doing it in front of children, which is one of the aggravating circumstances of this case. And on the other hand, he was, speaking so lovingly about his partner.
Speaking so lovely about his partner while he assassinates someone, once again, with their hand out in public, risking himself so that people can get along better. Good for you. Let's make it romantic. I love you, my love. Make sure to shoot him in the neck and he dies real quick. What in the hell is going on with the news? And my entire family, maybe that's why I'm so mad. My entire family votes for this shit. And I don't understand why. Yeah, there's that. So that's pretty much what I got for you guys in this one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, even subscribe if it feels right. I'm going to leave you with a few seconds of Braveheart, and I'll see you real soon in the next one.
What will you do without freedom? Run, and you'll live. At least a while. And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!